Alright, after the Shiranui Ride Line, we get the Luard Encounter Ride Line, so let's begin. And no cards of the day. Here's the starter, Drag Prince Root. Moving on, Drag Wizard Neves, which is of course the grade 1 wiki power, and the skill is that when you ride it on top of the grade 0, draw a card and get a Drag Card Luard Crest, just like every Stride deck set grade 1. In which we go to the grade 2 at 10k power, Drag Wizard Leoful, which has the skill of auto when rolled upon by a Luard, you can Soul Blast one to draw a card. Keep in mind it says any Luard, so if they make a second grade 3 Luard, well, you can still use this. But anyway, second skill, Auto Drop Zone, Ritual 3. For those who don't know, Ritual just basically means depending on how many grade 1s in the drop zone. Since it says 3, means 3 or more grade 1s in the drop zone. But anyway, skill is, when your grade 4 Luard is placed on Vanguard, you can discard a card from your hand to call this to rearguard. The nice part is basically a grade 2 that can recall itself while also basically increase your ritual count, because the discard part can be grade 1s to increase your ritual count basically, aka increase your grade 1s in the drop zone. And the first skill, Soul Blasting 1, can also basically get this to the drop zone anyway. Now, is it worth running more of these just for the second skill? It's up to you, but it isn't a bad card to consider because obviously you want to make numbers. In which we go to the grade 3 Dragheart Luard, which is a copy and paste of the original. Of course, Ritual 3, put 2 normal units from the drop zone to the bottom of the deck during the beginning ride phase so you can stride without cost. And of course, Auto Vanguard, when your G units stride during the turn, you can kind of blast 1 to choose one of your rearguards to retire it, and then search up to 2 grade 1s or less from your deck and call them to rearguard. Like I said, it's copy and paste of the original, so of course ruling wise you can actually use the original version if you want to use it, and of course it's still 11k base, that's why the crest exists. And then we go to the crest itself, copy and paste as every other stride crest, ride it on top of your main grade 3. The grade 3 is 13k base, and that also includes the heart, and also for every face up card in the G zone, your front row gets us 5k to replace your persona. But the unique part is auto at the end of the turn, if you stride without a cost, aka Luard skill, choose a critical trigger from a drop zone and put it to the bottom of the deck. This might have some premium application considering Abyssal Owl exists, but the fact that you can recycle your crits is just very powerful, even though that there is a chance that you're going to be calling your crits as well in this deck, because that's basically your backup call. But in that, I don't exactly know how to feel about this, because being able to recycle your triggers, even if it's just crits, might be a little powerful. But you do go through your deck quite a lot because this is Luard, so I guess. And then to the support cards, here's the PG, Drag Saber Estrus, and then we go to Preservation Angel, which is a grade 1 with K power, and this goes count Rearguard Guardian Ritual 3. This card gets intercept and shield plus 5k, which is probably going to be replaced by any other better card. And then we got Luminacy Wizard, which is a grade 1 with K power, and this goes count Rearguard Generation Break 1 Ritual 3. If this card was placed on Rearguard during the turn, this card gets was 10k. Not too bad considering the amount of superior calls. But the second skill, auto, when retired from Rearguard during the turn, if you have a Dragheart Luard Crest, you may Soul Charge 1, then choose one of your Vanguards to get plus 5k into the end turn. This is very helpful considering that you do use a bit of soul, and basically this is just a retire target, even if you're going to be placing it on top of it. So overall, not too bad. Oh, and keep in mind, you also increase your ritual count from this because this is a grade 1. And then we go to Salmon Cloud's Dragon, which is the discard from hand grade 3 for stride to draw a card, and Ritual 3, Generation Break 2, plus 10k during the turn. You could run the set 13 cycle card instead since it technically does the same thing but also for the ride deck, but this does have the ritual ability, which is probably why you might run this, because it's for that. So in this case, personal preferences really come, but if you feel like you want more rituals, you got this. And now finally to the first stride, Drag Driver Luard. Generic stride stats and the skill is Auto Vanguard Ritual 3. When this card attacks, cost count plus 1, turn a face down card from a G zone face up, and then search your deck for 1 unit card with the ritual ability and call it to rearguard, and of course shuffle your deck. And that's what I mean that you might want the ritual ability. One thing I love about this one is that not only that it's not restricted to grade 1s, just ritual abilities, but it's also on attack, meaning you can get your multi-attack compared to the original Drag Driver. Sure, the call unit doesn't get the power, but considering the amount of ritual cards that get power on their own already, this isn't too bad, especially for the multi-attack aspect plus the crest. So I will say one of the better first strides, and it's not really OP. So that's it for this new Luard Encounter Ride Line. What do you guys think of it? Once again, Stride Ride Line, only the grade 2 is pretty much unique, but this is Luard, so this is going to be a cool thing. As for Drag Driver Luard, pretty cool as a first stride. And in fact, I think this one is not really nerfed. This one's actually kind of better than most of the first strides in the stride deck sets compared to the original. And have you noticed that all the first strides of the stride deck sets give you one additional attack? And yes, I still count Mago Tembu with one dominate. I kind of noticed a little pattern here, especially with this one. But overall, nice so far, nothing very game breaking, and just cool to see Luard again. But on that, that's it for this, and let's see what the second strides will do.